Hi and welcome to the channel. I'm Sam and this is the Crafty Blinder van build. After successfully upgrading the rear suspension, it's time to start on the front. Well, I don't know if you can tell, but I've been enjoying the sun again. A bit too much, I think. I'm burnt to a crisp, but just had a little delivery. The new Torsion Bar for the front end. Spent weeks looking for this, in fact months, probably about the last 3 months. It's the right part number, but it just pays you to shop around. I went on A1, a website anyway, where you list your part that you're looking for and they supply it. I was offered that part for 200 quid and I'd done a little bit of digging and I found the guy that was selling it, another firm, and bought it for 138, same part. So I was happy with the condition of it. You know, I didn't want anything that had been marked or damaged. So that one, it is second hand, but I'm not paying 500 odd quid, which is the going rate for one of them from VW. I think you get them slightly cheaper from Mercedes, the 200 odd quid plus the VAT. But when I managed to track down one at VW, they wanted 500 plus VAT. So they still obviously have the family heirloom. They're very expensive family heirloom because that's what it must be at that price. So they've not been parted with that yet. But there'll be some idiot out there that'll pay them 500 odd quid for it, but it won't be this one. So yeah, that's just arrived. It's Sunday afternoon. Got it to the door and it fell out the box. Which end is it? It was class. I wish I'd recorded it. He got it all the way, yeah. Put it down and it shot out the end of the box. And I think he panicked a little bit, but I was like, "Nah, you're all right, mate. No damage to it. It's fine." But it was class. Anyway, let's get it stuck on this van. As you can see, there's the weak link out. They're the standard springs. We've now replaced the double leaf Jones heavy duties. They're in. So, and we gained a cheeky 2-inch of lift. Wasn't expecting that, but I think it looks better for it. Just hope we get the same at the front. So that now is sat at 780, so 78 centimetres roughly, 77.5. Let's see how much it goes up when we put that new torsion bar in. Safety first again. Let's get that chocked. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to go all the way around. I parked it on an angle so I can get at both sides. Limited space. Chocked. Let's get these front wheels off. Before jacking the van up, I cracked off all the wheel nuts with the long bar. And this time, to try and save a bit of effort and a bit of time, I've borrowed my brother's impact gun. There's no way I'm stripping the front end of this van out without some assistance. Now that we've got the wheels off, we need to release the top of the strut. So, I don't know if you can see that well. Yep, my hand's making it darker than it is. So we need I think it's a 7mm Allen key for there. I think that's a 19mm or 18. We'll go and check and we'll confirm what it is. And we'll loosen that one off. And we'll loosen the driver's one off as well. Delivery time. And look who it's from. Wonder what they could be. Let's have a little look. Oh yes. Merry Christmas, van. So you're going to need a 7mm Allen and a 24mm wrench. There we go. It's at this point I think I should maybe put something under the front hub to stop it all collapsing onto the floor. Get the jack out. Pop that under it. And drop all the contents of the bag. With the hub supported, I take one last check before I carry on. So that's them two off. And I just need to lower it down on the inside. So what we're going to do, we're going to mark this. That's the top, right? And that's the bottom left. So see how that lines up with that, and that should be our top point. So when we put everything, put the camera on it this time. So we've marked a line across there to line up with the bottom of this area, and that is pointing straight up. So when we bolt everything back together, this sets the camber. So if we get it somewhere close, that'll do us. Alright, let's get them bolts up. So these are 21s. I feel the need to apologise up front. Some of these camera angles are going to be really tight. We were very limited with space, and some of the quality isn't what I would normally produce. Some of the images are clipped and a little bit tight, so apologies for that. I expect that being a little bit tighter, in all honesty. We're going back tighter, haven't we? Top bolt is, it's like an elliptical shape, and what that does is it rides up on that point there and it pushes this in and out. So if you have it that way around, be closer in, setting the camber that way. As you roll it round, brings the camber out. Always good to mark that, know where it goes back. Right, let's try and get this bottom one cracked off. I think this is going to be the one. That'll be tough. Nope. That went pretty easy as well. Wow. See there? As soon as I started, everything started to move because we've taken that top bolt off. Bottom bolt is completely different, it just looks like a normal bolt. Lift that off there, that's just like a little clip, push that in and slide it up. So let's lift that out of the way. I should have removed the jack at this point. It wasn't really doing anything apart from working against me. Out. So what we really need to do is support this now. And keep the pressure off. Keep the pressure off this line. Right, okay, next step in the dance. Now that we've got the damper out of the way, we can take off, can I show you that? We can take off this spring end plate. So it's two 19mm, that one and that one. And then down the bottom there we've got two 16mm. So I'll get them rattled off and let you see what it looks like under there. Slight correction there. These are actually 18mm, these top two. So let's get that right before we go any further. Let's see how tight these are. Oh my God. Oh. That was epic. I think I might have changed colour there. Horrendously tight. So let's remember 18's at the top, 16's at the bottom. Bit of leverage on it, get the long bar on. Normally I would have covered everything in plus gas to try and let it soak in and make things easier to release, but I'd ran out. The last can I had malfunctioned and it was leaking everywhere. That is tight. Let's see if I can get on it now. Oh my God. Oh, that is so tight. Because of the space, it was hard to get a good angle on these bolts. So sometimes it's just a matter of working with what you've got, configuring your tools in a different way to get the end result. Some movement now. Right. So let's go can it with this. Set one out as well. There you go. So we can clear that to there. That's the end of the bar. That's the original. So that's a piece out. On to the next one now. So it's this part here. It starts there, runs right underneath. That just supports the torsion bar that runs through this section here. So let's get that out, and then we're going to do the same jobs on the other side, and that should free everything up, allow us to slide the torsion beam in and start buttoning everything back up. So the bolts that hold this in place are 18s and 13s, so we'll try and crack some of these off and get them out. Oh, this part is a godsend. I'm not sure how far we have to drop this, but we may need to take it out quite a way. Maybe I should take these 13s out first. Just completely remove them. Because I've spent so much time stripping this van down using hand tools, I've forgotten I'd borrowed my brother's impact gun. So, as soon as I remembered, this was the perfect job for it. It sped up the whole process tenfold, and it was just a matter of whipping out all the bolts once I got them loosened off. The reasoning behind loosening them off first is, if you jump straight in with the impact tool, there's a good chance you're going to damage the bolt, or you're going to damage the thread. If it's corroded in there and it's not going to move, you maybe not feel that. The bolt might just keep going and going and going until it shears the head off the bolt. By using hand tools to loosen the bolt, you can sense whether or not it's going to start moving easily, or if there's a lot of resistance on it. And if there's a lot of resistance, you're going to have to work that bolt in and out. Tighten it up, loosen it off, tighten it up, loosen it off till it comes out. That way you won't damage the bolt, you won't damage the thread. Then you can use the impact gun for the real donkey work. This bolt at the back is a perfect example of what I was talking about. Over the years there's been a build-up of wax, grease and oil, and it didn't want to move. All the others were pretty free. I could loosen them with just the hand tool. Once I started moving, it kept moving. But there's always one that's that little bit more stubborn, a little bit harder to get out. Well, obviously some of these bolts have never been removed since the van was built in the factory, and I think this is one of them. Once I'd worked it back and forwards a couple of times, I had the confidence, due to the size of the bolt, that I could just push on, push through. It was stiff, but I kept going until it freed up. Eventually you will get to a point where everything just frees off. You've cleared the thread, you've cleared the bit, the sticky part, and it's just a matter of releasing the rest of the bolt.
Ooh, my pants.
I really wasn't ready for that. I actually jumped. having never owned or worked on a crafter before, every time I complete a little bit of a job, there's a massive sense of relief. You know, taking this part off, I've chuffed a bit, because it'll let me then progress to the next part. So we've released quite a bit of pressure now. We have a gap in there. We can play with this bottom mount. So I think when we loosen off the other side, we'll be good to go. So on the driver's side, the damper is located under the throttle. So we need to look at removing the throttle box. Looks like there's 3 bolts there on the back. I'm going to try and get them off and let you know how we get on. Don't know if you can see them, there's one there, and one at the top. So we'll have a go. Also, I've got the mat kind of squashed up, out the way, just while we do this job. Hopefully it'll go back and you'll never know I've been here. Okay, that's the 3 bolts off. And just lift that round and stick it up there out the way, giving you full access to the top of the damper. A little bit of a mess about, but end of the day we're there. We've got to where we want to be. So let's get that dropped out and cracked on. By the way, that's a 10mm socket. Okay, so we've had to put a bit of work into this. A little bit more than expected, to be honest. I knew it was going to be difficult, but well, I've had a few years off the tools, so let's show you what we've done. Cable tied the caliper. I've split the caliper off the hub here. I've put that up out the way. Can now remove this part. We've taken all the plates off. We've taken all the supports from underneath. Now up inside here there is a rubber. You need to pull that out, and then that should free all of this. I've taken them off the other side, and there you go, we're out. And that's us. Thank God for that. Been a job and a half. Right, let's go and offer it up against the new one. There's the old bar out. That's the new one. Doesn't seem to be much difference in it, but we'll get it swapped over and see what it looks like. Well, that's me for the night. All the tools are away now, so when you come back we'll be fitting the torsion beam and we'll be installing the new Bilstein dampers. See you again. Thank you for your continued support. If you like what we're doing, consider subscribing, liking and sharing with your friends. Also, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.